As you sit down, we'd like to have a moment of silence, please. I went to the wake yesterday, the funerals today. Lou DeVivo, the founder and owner of Diaco, and as you know, Don DeVivo is on our board of directors and executive committee of the chamber. Diaco is at every one of these events every month with a table. He passed away, a great individual, another one of these people that served our country in the Second World War, and then went on to have a great career in business. So if everyone can please have a moment of silence to remember Lou's family, and anyone else that you might have lost over the past year or so. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. As you know, we're full here this morning, and we always give a little gift to the early birds. This morning at 6 a.m., we had two of them come in. Bill Curlin, where are you, Bill? He gets a shirt, and Harry Burr. Now that Bill Curlin knows I give these shirts out every morning, he'll be here at 5:30. Good to see you. Okay. As you know, we only reserve a couple of tables here, so people that get a table have to get here very early, and that's part of the deal, so we appreciate that. We've had a great year so far with the Chamber. It gives me a great honor to introduce our chairman, Vin Capice, who's done a terrific job to welcome everyone and recognize some of our new members.
Good morning. Thanks, Larry. Hope you're all enjoying the last of summer. Seems like it's going by really quick. Thanks for being here this morning. I'd like to just first recognize our state and local officials who are here today. On your table, there's a listing of all the state and local officials who are here. I'd also like to welcome our new members. Would you please stand up when I call your name? The first is the Two Left Feet Blues Festival. We have people from here. Coach KPR from Manchester. We have the Essex Wellness Center in Essex. Anybody here from there? Stand up. Oh, can you please stand up? Can we have someone from the Comprehensive Orthopedics and Physical Therapy from Wallingford stand up? Merrill Lynch from Durham. VP YP Marketing Solutions, Wethersfield. And Destination Development Group, Windsor. Can we give them all a round of applause? Thank you. I'd also like to congratulate several people who have earned some recognition recently. Phil Lett from Eli Cannon's Tap Group on receiving the 2015 AL Award for his outstanding dedication and volunteerism to the City of Middletown and the Central Business Bureau of Middlesex County. Jill Honeycomb from Bank Investment Services on your recent promotion to Program Manager at Liberty Bank Investment Services. Jill. Bernard Sweeney, the District Manager of Connecticut SBA Office, on his retirement from the SBA and his outstanding support of the Connecticut business community. Is Bernard here? Well, let's give him a round of applause anyway. And last but not least, Chief Anthony Salvatore from the town of Cromwell on being appointed to the town manager of the town of Cromwell. Thank you. Thanks for being here today.
We have a great event coming up in a couple of weeks, and the Durham Fair, as you know, is that along with the Travelers Golf Tournaments are two events that bring over 250,000 people into Middlesex County that spend their money and enjoy everything that the county has to offer. It gives me great honor to introduce the president of the Durham Fair Association, Dan Marimont.
Thank you, Larry. Good morning, everybody. I just want to thank Larry and the Chamber for their constant support of the fair. We appreciate the recognition you give us year over year. Well, it's this time of year again. You got a little nip in the ear, and what that typically signals with the kids going back to school, fair fall season, and of course Our fair is the last weekend of September, and we hope we see most of you attend our fair this year. We're happy to report this is our 96th year, celebrating our 96th year in existence. And there's a lot of buzz with the association because our 100-year anniversary is right around the corner. Mary Ann Board, our first vice president, is chairing that committee. Mary Ann, wave your hand there. And you'll be hearing a lot more about that coming up in terms of our 100-year anniversary. You know, it's really been a privilege to be part of this organization because we have very unique credentials. We're the largest nonprofit agricultural all-volunteer fair, not only in New England, but domestically in the United States, so we're really proud of that. You know, we have so many dedicated and talented people as part of this organization. It's, again, humbling to be part of it. And to see the puzzle parts come together, we literally start planning for the fair October, right after our fair. There's that much involved with putting this fair together. And as Larry said, you know, I've got this rivalry going with the TPC in terms of who has the greatest attendance. Last year they beat us out. Jason said they had around 260,000. I think we had around 225,000 last year. So we're going to try to beat them out this year. Our focus with the fair has always been education and agriculture. We're really trying to bring the theme of agriculture back to the roots of the fair because that's actually how it started. One of our taglines has always been good, clean, wholesome, fun. Our fair, like a lot of the fairs in Connecticut, we're part of the Association of the Connecticut State Fairs. There's over 33 fairs in Connecticut. We're really blessed to have that many. They're all uniquely different, and they all have their own little culture. So I'd encourage you not only to attend our fair, of course, but to get out and see as many of these as you can because, again, they're all very, very unique. Entertainment is probably one of our biggest attractions year over year. Wendy Manamite's here with us this morning. Say hi, Wendy. She's our coordinator of entertainment, and we're very happy to announce we have the Country Music Awards honoree Martina McBride Friday night. So it's a huge draw for us. We expect huge crowds. If you're planning on coming to the fair this year, please come early because the town's absolutely going to be, overwhelmed. And our first selectman smiled at me there, Laura Francis. But we year over year, we typically get through it. I'm often asked, what are some of the benefits of the fair to the community? You know, from an economic development standpoint, we're happy and we're very proud that we have over 33 nonprofits that participate in our fair year over year. So that's, for some of them, it's their largest fundraiser event of the year, and that money gets channeled back into the community. And from our student ticket sales that we have every year, we give over $25,000 worth of scholarships to needy students in our community. So very proud of that heritage with the fair as well. We're doing some different things this year. Our entertainment venue is robust. I mean, Wendy's got 4 stages that go on simultaneously for 4 days, and there's a whole diverse group and subset of entertainment. Our talent show has really become our own little local big event, and it's become very, very popular year over year. We're going to do free parking this year. We're trying to incent people to use our parking lots because one of the logistical issues is trying to get to the fair. And we hear it all the time, but we're somewhat constrained by where we are. So we appreciate your patience with that. We put up 3 buildings last year, 3 new buildings that all have different themes, but the particular committees in those buildings year over year are embellishing their exhibits. So we encourage you to get out and see them. And I like to just close by saying, our fair, not unlike some of the other fairs in the state of Connecticut, there's something for everything. We've not increased our ticket price for the last 2-3 years. Depending on what your community interest is, if you want to go shopping, we have some great New England crafters. We have outstanding New England commercial exhibits. Our food is some of the best fair food in New England. It's one of the prime reasons why people come to see us. So I'd encourage you all to come out and visit us this year. Great value, and like I say, it's a great family experience. And thank you for your time, and we'll hope we see you at the fair. And thank you, Larry.
Thank you. It's a great event, and we really appreciate the volunteerism of the people, not only from Durham, but throughout the whole central Connecticut region. They just do a wonderful, wonderful job, and we're very, very proud of the Durham Fair. Also, we had music here this morning. There's a great festival coming up on September 12th at Powder Ridge in Middlefield, the 2 Left Feet Blues Festival, and we had Michael St. George and Father Taylor with us today. I appreciate that. Let's have a round of applause for both these musicians that were here earlier. We had I don't know if Danny Cronin made it today, but we had a tremendous business after work during the month of July. As you know, our business after works are free. Free beer, non-alcoholic drinks, free wine, all you can eat. And we always get around 250 people. It was a great event. And thank you, Danny. I have not seen him this morning, but thank him very much. Stop by, say hello. That's our thanks to them. Also, Phil Ouellette was introduced earlier today, and he got the AL Award, which is given by our Central Business Bureau, which is a major award. Phil is an unbelievable, dedicated citizen to this whole region. The amount of money he raises for charities, the amount of support he gives me personally in the chamber is just phenomenal. Phil, I want to thank you not only for what you do for the business community, but more importantly to me, what you do for the community in general. You're in the north end of Middletown. He runs a holiday party where he gives hundreds of kids gifts. Some of those kids don't have that ability, and he does that. Takes the place of maybe a family member that can't afford it. So, Phil, thank you very much for everything you do for us. You're a great man. And for some of you who just took your hearing aids out a couple of weeks ago, we had our motorcycle mania in downtown Middletown. Rich Greco and his committee is here. Why don't you guys stand up? Let's have a round of applause for them. These guys are unbelievable. 5,500 bikes, close to 15,000 people. Unbelievable event. And I say the town of Middletown does a great job cleaning up, and the only thing you see on the next day, on Thursday morning, is all the beer trucks coming back in to fill our restaurants up with libations. It's an unbelievable time. It's a great event. People come down, they enjoy, they eat, they have a good time. 10 years, we've never had a problem. So thanks, Rich, for all your dedication. You have to go back and tell Ray Reed, Rich Greco is a huge UConn soccer guy, so appreciate that. Also, a couple of weeks ago, we had an unbelievable grand opening with Connecticut Masing and Armani Restoration. They're both with us here today, putting 40,000 square feet of buildings up in Middletown. We'll be announcing some other things happening in the near future. As you know, FedEx is pretty close to making a final decision on Middletown. We have some others that are looking in the Cromwell, Middletown region. Big operations. So will the guys from Connecticut Masons and Armani please stand up? Welcome them to Middletown. Thank you for relocating here. A big thanks goes to our Senator Billy Ciotto for that. He recruited them, got them to come down here, visit, and they came to Middletown. So thank you, Billy. We really appreciate it for what you did with us. You know, every so often we see things in the newspapers, and in this case, I got Johanna got a phone call from P.J. Samini. There was a front page. I don't know if people saw it. There was a front page article in the Middletown Press about a month ago, and it was about Tanner Slifer, 12 years old. His grandparents have a huge garden, have a lot of food in the garden. And as usual, when they don't use up food, it goes for waste. And this young man said that he wanted to pay something forward to do something special. So his idea was to sell all of the extra vegetables from his grandfather's garden to raise funds for the holiday food drive at the Middlesex Hospital Cancer Center. This is unbelievable. This is a young leader showing the adults how to be community champions. his statement was, "I was getting all of this food from my grandfather, and it was more than we could eat, and I didn't want to see it go to waste." Tanner, stand up. Paul Doyle. Just hand it to him. There's a plaque from the chamber. Senator Doyle also has a citation from the state, and we have a UConn Husky shirt for you, too. So I think you'll like the Husky shirt the best. Congratulations. Thank you, PJ. Okay, at our head table today that are with us, Mayor Enzo Fienza from the town of Cromwell, Bob Santangelo, Deputy Mayor of the City of Middletown. We've seen Phil Ouellette. We have also with us Greg Shook, next year's chairman of the Chamber, Ward Manuel, the great AD of the University of Connecticut, another terrific athletic director, Mike Whalen from Wesleyan, Joe Riley, the outstanding basketball coach at Wesleyan University, who also is a good friend of Rick Carberry, which is also very important, right, Rick? And Jason Soucy from the Travelers Championship. Let's have a round of applause for all of them. And a special thanks to the UConn people that are with us here today. Rich Orr, Rick Carberry, who was just elected to another 4-year term to the Board of Trustees of the University of Connecticut. Rochelle Rubin, Chief of Staff, to Susan Herbst, and of course the Board of Trustees. And the best president, by far, of any college or university in the country. This is televised, so I'm out on this one. But she has done a magnificent job. She talked to our chamber back in the month of April. She's been there doing a fantastic job, moving UConn forward as a top 20 university, doing things on that campus to relate to what the business community needs, making tough decisions, and moving the University of Connecticut forward. Words cannot express my thanks, and I think the thanks to the 500 people here today for the great job that you've done for the University of Connecticut. Susan Herbst. Stand up, Susan. Okay. Now, it gives me a great honor to introduce our sponsor of this event today. It's a double honor for me because not only is People's United Bank a terrific corporate citizen, and they do so much for all of the state of Connecticut, and especially here in Middlesex County, by supporting many charitable functions, by supporting activities, by doing so much to make the quality of life better for all of the citizens in the state of Connecticut. For that, I really want to thank People's United Bank. But it's a real special honor to introduce Mike Casparino, president of the Northern Connecticut People's Bank, United Bank. Mike went to Xavier, then went up and played football at the University of Connecticut, and has moved up the line to a top management position at People's United. I had the opportunity to see Mike Casparino as a high school student, and have been honored to see him develop into the wonderful, committed, dedicated man he is today. I have never seen him without a smile on his face. I have never seen him with a negative attitude. He is so positive about everything. Huge supporter of UConn, a huge supporter of our chamber, and a person that I'm honored to call my friend, Mike Casparino.
Thank you, Larry, for that nice introduction and kind remarks. Always special to be here. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for all being here this morning. Out of all the breakfast meetings I attend throughout the year, and I go to a lot of them, I'll tell you right now, without a doubt, not only my favorite, but by far the most impressive. I think you'll all agree with that. The huge crowds, the strong supporting membership month after month, makes it one of the finest, most recognizable chambers in the nation. And ladies and gentlemen, I know we take it for granted sometimes what they do every year, every month to get these quality breakfasts and get the community together, but it is outstanding. And Larry, you and your team deserve a round of applause, at least by all of us today. Thank you, Larry, for all that you do. Wow, a lot has changed over the past year. New football season, new schedule, 4 new captains, new stadium name, new recruiting class. Villanova is playing us at our own Rentschler Field a week from today, 7:30 p.m. under the lights. Everyone in this great state is excited about football again. Ladies and gentlemen, for the 14th consecutive year, People's United Bank is extremely proud to sponsor another special Middlesex Chamber breakfast. It also gives me great pleasure today to have the opportunity to introduce today's speaker, head coach Bob Diaco. Quick background on Coach. A native of Cedar Grove, New Jersey, and a 1995 Iowa graduate, Coach Diaco began his coaching career in 1996 as a graduate assistant at his alma mater. He coached extensively on staffs and programs at Virginia, Cincinnati, Western Illinois, Eastern Michigan, and Central Michigan. Coach Diaco then served on the Notre Dame coaching staff as their defensive coordinator from 2010 to 2013, as well as their assistant head coach in 2012-2013. He was the winner of the 2012 winner of the Frank Broyles Award, given to the top assistant coach in college football throughout the nation. He was named the 30th head football coach at UConn. And please remember this, ladies and gentlemen, only 20 months ago, December 12, 2013. He's only been here 20 months. In his first full season at the University of Connecticut in 2014, Coach Diaco has worked tirelessly and extremely hard on developing the program and has built a strong foundation for a championship future at UConn. The program is coming off a real good 2015 recruiting class, and the class of 2016 is rumored to be very special. There's a lot of enthusiasm centered around this season as the Huskies get ready to face an exciting schedule, which was recently ranked the 22nd toughest in the country. Some of the games featured this season are South Florida, Army, Navy, and East Carolina at home. And listen to this: Missouri, BYU, Central Florida, and Cincinnati on the road. As you know, Coach Diaco is a classic motivator, upbeat attitude, makes you better every day with a proven track record of winning wherever he goes. Ladies and gentlemen, let's show our support and appreciation and give Coach Diaco a big welcoming round of applause. Go, Coach.
Thank you. Please sit. Yes, all right. All right, football. Thank you. There's a crispness in the air. A starry night, freshly cut grass. Kids in the area walking around. The fair is here. I thought for sure, oh yeah, here we go. We're going football, man. Freshly cut grass, a crispness in the air. It's football season, and you can't help but feel it. You can't help but smell it. You see the kids behind, these obscure buildings that you're not really sure what they were, what they are, but all of a sudden right now there's 200 cars back there and kids and parents bustling around. You know it's football practice. And it's so great to see the work done nationally to change this attendance issue on our youth teams. And the numbers are back on the rise, and that's so great. That's so great. So at UConn, we're doing big things. And the young men that are making this investment and the staff making this investment have just done a spectacular job. And for you supporters, thank you so much. And understand that if you had a chance to see these guys every day, you would be so proud and happy and filled with joy. It's not force, it's not this motivation, it's not something that's an act. To get encouragement, and I appreciate it, keep giving it to me. I love it. But I'm involved right now, presently, in one of the most gratifying things that I've ever done, and maybe ever will do. So I am on fire for what's going on right now with these young men, with these lives, with this ball club. It's going to spark an energy on campus that we're going to see that twinkle all the way around. I mean, one piece of it, one cultural piece. I'll mention two. One. So, I mean, these guys are smoked. I told them that this was going to be the most challenging thing they've ever done. I was going to shock and crush their central nervous systems to smithereens. Okay? We were going to challenge them intellectually, and we were going to challenge them emotionally. And it was accomplished. So these guys are walking up practice 20, that hill, to the practice fields. It's called, the fields on Hilltop. And it's like, a death march. They're just smoked. I mean, they want to practice, but, they're just shot. And then that whistle blew, and the gate closed. And then practice, period 1, the horn sounded, and the lights came on. Bang! I mean, these guys were on fire. This team loves to play football. That travels. That's going to travel to the ooh and the ah. That's going to travel to Missouri. That's going to travel to BYU. That's going to travel to Central Florida. That's going to travel to Cincinnati. When you love what you do, that you love what you do in the rain, you love what you do in the heat, you love what you do against Cincinnati, you just love what you do. We started camp now, so we got 23 practices in the mud. We kind of break camp tonight with the final workout at Pratt Whitney Stadium, Rensselaer Field. And during this time frame, we wanted to accomplish with the team collectively, we got together, our football family, and we wanted to get 3 things done. One would be to reinforce, enforce, grow on our brotherhood. And just the overall understanding of being on a family and feeling on a family and what families do. So that's love, trust, and respect. And that's accountability. We wanted to become masters or grow towards mastery and just become better or the best at doing your job. That's not easy to do. And it's definitely not easy to do for a millennial. They have great, great qualities. They're awesome, awesome workers in so many ways. But the one thing that they do really well is multitask. I mean, you watch a millennial study, they got headphones on, half the video game is on, they got a book open, they're texting. It's unbelievable. It's spectacular. Well, even when I grew up, and we're not too far away, and then when you see like Coach, who was in a different age cohort, age cohort, big word I try to use to sneak it past, sharp guy. You had a chance to become a master. There were carpenters and electricians and people, blacksmith. You could become a master. There wasn't all these distractions. I mean, even when I was growing up, there wasn't computers, there wasn't internet, I didn't have a portable phone, there were no cell phones. You want to make a call, you drop quarters in the pay phone. Or you had that the phone that you stuck your finger in, you had to get the circle all the way to the metal thing. You got a chance to drill down and focus. So we wanted to be sure that focus was on this camp. And understand the feeling of being in camp, to focus specifically and eliminate the distractions. Unplug. Shut everything else out other than this work. Which, Dave, that's hard to do. That's hard to do. Are you doing it? Are you doing it? So there's a lot of business people here. So in your business, so another word for work or your job is vocation. Right? Your vocation. So I could ask you, what do you do? What's your vocation? And you would answer the question, I'm a banker, I'm a lawyer, I'm a doctor, I'm That's your vocation. Well, vocation is derived from the original word vocare. And in Latin, vocare is a calling voice. A calling voice. Are you going to leave here today and do what you were called to do? Are you answering your calling voice? If you're not, you're probably going to have trouble being a master or the best at what you do. So that focus is hard to do. And the third thing then would be strain. You know, what real quality thing have you ever experienced? What real quality thing are they ever going to experience that hasn't been almost impossible to get? So hard. You know, you want to buy this bicycle and your parents aren't going to buy it for you. Save every single penny you have and every sacrifice you make to not eat a candy bar or not get the paddle ball or not get the thing. And then you get the money and you buy it. And that feeling, you wash it every day, the care that you take with it, and you'll never forget it. That strain. We wanted these players to understand strain. And we have accomplished one of the greatest camps so far that I've ever been a part of. The change that's come with these young men has been profound. We ended the semester. So here's another example. I said I'd give you two cultural examples of evidence of it being built and happening the right way. And that is, at the end of the semester, led by Mrs. Ellen Tripp, who's Associate Athletic Director in charge of Academic Services, the CPIA department, as UConn calls it. She's spectacular, by the way. The young men had 31 players on the academic honor roll. 31. 4 players received perfect 4.0s, and for the first time in CPIA's existence, led by Ellen Tripp, for the first time, there were 0 football players up for academic discipline. 0. So we're winning. We're winning, and I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna wrap it up because I want to be sure I can answer questions and let this conversation take on a real generic, visceral, free-flowing. I love that. President Herbst loves when we do that. Yeah. So, it's just been it's been great. We're winning. And listen, you heard a little bit of my resume. I don't need to be reminded that we need to win the games. No kidding. I got it. Okay? I got it. But understand, from a joy standpoint, from an energy standpoint, in my world, my vision, my mission that I'm on, my walk that I'm on, my vocare, okay, is about developing these young men and being sure that they understand that there wasn't one single person on this planet born a loser. Not one. Everybody was born a winner. What baby, what child is a loser? Has anyone ever met one? So we learned it somewhere along the way. If you're losing, it was learned somewhere along the way. I'd like to be a part of changing the dynamic from losing to winning. And if you're winning, you can win more. And that's what I'm trying to get done. That's what we're trying to get done. That's what we are getting done. We are getting done. One of the metrics we're going to measure is winning the games on the scoreboard. I realize that. It also happens to be in terms of being allowed to continue my vision and mission. That's the biggest one. I got it. But I'm so satisfied, I'm so gratified, and I'm so honored so honored to serve this university. I'm so honored to serve these young men. It's bringing incredible joy to my life and fulfillment. So with that, let's open it for Q&A. Yes, sir. That was fast. You must have a hard one.
All the things you mentioned, including love of the game, are important. I think what most of them is pretty talented kids. So can you tell us what you do to find talented players?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, talented players don't necessarily make great teams. They might make talented teams, but that doesn't mean you're going to have a great team. The players with teams without talent, right? And I think as Parcells are irrelevant teams, but the best team will always win. So. With that said, the focus for the class of 2015 was an energy class and a body type class. So these guys all loved football. They all understood family. They all understood family and the concept of it. They were serving as sons, nephews, older brothers, younger brothers. They were all on winning teams. So it wasn't like an exchange student coming and I'm trying to teach him the language of winning. You know, I speak American, he speaks Japanese, and 6 months later, before we can even talk about where the bathroom is or how to get a cup of coffee. So these guys talk the language of winning. And we wanted to get big, physically big. So all the players are gigantic. Okay, they have developmental strength training that needs to happen, but they're all long lever guys. So when they showed up, mission accomplished. There was this incredible surge of energy and belief and a winning mentality onto this team right now. Now, as the culture strengthens, you can not take risks, but maybe allow for a little bit less stringent scrubbing of those intangible pieces and focus a little bit more on the tangible pieces, still understanding that the best team's going to win, not the most talented team. So right now we have committed, I can't speak specifically, but to the university for the class of 2016, some spectacular players. The recruiting and the teams that we're recruiting against, in terms of the conversation of Autonomy 5 and whatever, every single one of them had multi scholarship offers from that group, and they want to come be Huskies. So that's on the rise. The energy's on the rise. We're acquiring great players that are the right fit. They're in alignment with the university's vision and mission. They're going to be spectacular students in the student body. They're going to play with fairness and toughness and with love, and they're talented too. So we're working on it. It's been great, actually.
Coach, can you speak to what your starters are going to be this season?
Well, we're going to release our starting lineup during game week, specifically. Is there any position that you're interested in specifically? I wonder what that is. Oh, the quarterback. Oh, what a shock. So, the best part of the quarterback position, a couple great parts, is like, so a year ago, not to rewind, I mean, it's irrelevant, you know, but it is kind of interesting. It's like all hands on deck. You're like, all right, yeah, you can do this. You really care, so you do this. Okay, you do that. All right. So it was all hands on deck. Now, the camp has been at almost every spot. There's a word, inner position word, that is, the coach will tell you, is an important, immeasurable piece, and that's competition. So now, across the board, at every position, almost every position, there is incredible competition for participation. And the quarterback position is a hallmark of that. The best part, like I said, the best part is each position, and that one specifically, all they want to do is have the quarterback position be the best it can be. There's not the players fighting over each other to get to that spot. They're holistically approaching the season to be sure that that position functions at a top level. That's been fun to watch. That's been fun to watch. So I'm not going to name the starter until the equivalent of Intense Tuesday of game week, Villanova. But we're working towards that. The best part is I don't have to select it. It's already been selected. I mean, from performance, right? The way we work is we work as a family. So we don't do things behind closed doors. There's nothing hidden in the darkness that's going to at some point be exposed. Everybody understands through performance and practice and production who's going to be the starter. So, and that's a great thing, you know, where it's not something that I'm naming. They've named it themselves through what they've done. And it's an exciting group. You know what's exciting too? Is that when they take the field, the other opponent might think they're the tight ends. You know? Like, boy, their tight ends are big. You know, and the guy next to him's like, oh man, those are the quarterbacks. And I'm like, oh, uh-oh. It's going to be a long day. So, yes, sir.
Coach, who's some of the people in your life that you've tried to emulate or that have made a huge effect on you? Somebody you know, somebody famous?
Oh my gosh, I mean, to answer that, my Pop Warner coaches. You know, I think back to being a part of something that I just love to do. Where'd that come from? Clearly, I had a great experience. You know, you show up and you're 8 years old and you're in 3rd grade. That's when I started playing full contact football. And I had a couple of great coaches. And they coached me through 8th grade. Every year. I just loved it. And so did my teammates. It wasn't just me because I was a player, you know. Everybody loved it. And you know, how much impact that had on my life and my identity and the other avenues that then I went in. I mean, I could hit you with names of star-studded cast, but I think my Pop Warner coaches, Jim Pomponio and Gene Basile, are 2 great names to mention. My father, who I talked about, you know, Bob Diaco, and I nicknamed him Heavy because he doesn't even understand people smiling. Like, he's like, what are you? He's like, oh, you got a clear head. What are you smiling about? Huh? You know. So the development with him and all the lessons he taught me, you know, giving me I was talking to somebody the other day about taking their child to college. You know, I wanted to tell them about how I went off to college. You know, I had a bag. My dad drove me to Newark Airport. He walked me to the terminal, and he gave me my sack, and I took my sack, and he said, "Don't ever come home." True story. And you know, you listen. I'm sure there's some, but if you smell by Pratt Whitney Stadium, if you smell sausage and peppers cooking, and veal and peppers, and prosciutto, and like the most rank provolone, wheel of provolone you've ever smelled, if you smell that, follow it. You'll find him and his boys tailgating, and then you could ask him yourself what he told me in Newark Airport if you don't believe me.
Coach, I want to congratulate you and your assistant coaches on the academic performance of the team.
Thank you.
It's excellent for the state. But on a more difficult side, you're professing the goal to win. But if you're a schedule coach, it's like unbelievable. It's going to be such a challenge for you.
Yeah.
Coming on your schedule.
Yeah, listen, we're building this thing to last. Okay, we're building this thing to last. There's no doubt about that. The foundation that's being built here is incredible. And what we're asking them to do, they're doing. They're working hard to get it done. So we're focused on that day by day. I'm excited about the schedule. I'm excited about the schedule because I'm invested and bought into that process. So this schedule fits the process really well. I mean, you come out of the blocks, and after 4 games, 5 games, you know exactly who you are. I mean, before we get into conference play, we'll have played on the road at Missouri and BYU. We'll have played a couple of service academies running triple option football, and we'll have played what people say is the best FCS program in America going to play for the national championship, with the Defensive Player of the Year and the Offensive Player of the Year. So by the time we get to conference play, we'll know exactly who we are. That's exciting. And that's got to be an energizer for the guys. And we're talking about loving and enjoying doing hard things. So then we can't talk out of both sides of our mouth and say something other than that. No, the bell's going to ring. Ding, ding. You going to sit on the bench, or are you going to step to the center of the ring and throw hands? That's what we're going to do. We're going to go to the center of the ring, throw hands, see what happens.
Coach, one of the challenges in sports seems to be playing to above the level of your competition, getting the players to focus on less on scoreboard and more about challenging themselves to play the best of their ability. How do you get kids to focus on playing against themselves instead of always just playing to the level of competition? I think,
That's a great question.
football, UConn basketball, women's basketball, they seem to play way above competition.
It's great. So that's why I love this time, because like I said, we can just keep it popping. So do me a favor. Raise in the air your right hand as high as you can. Raise it higher. Okay, thank you. So here's where we're at. When we came in, we said, everybody raise your right hand as high as you can. I'm just saying, in general, just picture this. We didn't do this, but just picture it. Some rose a hand, some didn't. So then shortly after, we got everyone to raise their right hand. Or got everyone to raise a hand. Some raised their left, some raised their right. Then shortly after that, we got everybody to raise their right hand. And just like I asked you to do, raise your hand as high as you can. And then I said, higher. And everyone in the room somehow miraculously found another 3 inches. I didn't tell you to raise it almost as high as you can. I said, raise your hand as high as you can. Then I said higher, and you raised it another 3 inches. Everyone in the room. So every hand go up even higher. So we've got everybody in the room with their right hand in the air, raising it as high as they can. We'll still have another level of those 3 inches. We're not there yet. But they are all going as hard as they can go, as hard as they think they can go right now. And that's all we can do. What else can we do? It's all we can do. And you're going to see it. You're going to see it. So, I mean, I'm saying something right now. I'm not trying to energize this fan base. Trust me. I'm telling you the truth. You're going to see it. Yeah. You know, it's happening. It's honestly happening. If you're studying it, it's happening. It's happening on a youth football level with American Football, a company called American Football, and they've got a catalog and a database of I want to say almost every single youth football league and team in the country. And now they have a system of certification for the coaches to teach them how to teach contact, strike zone, and how to tackle and deliver contact. So, and helmets have come a long way, shoulder pads have come a long way, mouthpieces have come a long way. So it's happening on a national level. I'm sure it's happening with the state. I mean, I haven't sat down with state officials, but it's definitely happening, which is exciting. so we can even get more participation in the game. The game is safe. The game is safe. It's not an unsafe game. From a development piece, it's just been great. That's one of the great things we do during camp is try to help these players understand outside of football, other winning in their lives in other areas. There was a hand, yes.
What should we expect offensively contrast to the players that last year?
Yeah, we're going to have there'll be a higher level of execution, less. We need to end the games with a positive turnover margin, and it's easy to see the turnover margin as a piece of a lack of ball security, and sure that's the case. But some of these errors were just flat breakdowns in execution, where the player didn't even have a chance. You think about game one, the first carry, a guy comes, unobstructed right through the middle of the offensive formation, and the back didn't even have a chance to saddle the ball and secure it, or a strip sack in another game. So you're going to see a higher level of execution. Year two, a deeper understanding from a football intelligence standpoint, a higher level of football intelligence. And it's not on the players, it's us, and taking accountability for how we teach and how we reach them, asking them to do things that they do well, minimizing the things that they do not do well. So on offense, you're going to see a change in execution for a myriad of different reasons. Technically, you'll see some more tempo changes, and you'll see some more shift trades and motions, which are exciting, an exciting component to the offense now. It'll still be a balanced offense moving forward, but those are two things that you'll see right away. Yes?
You're such a dynamic speaker that I actually feel like I want to play football. I was wondering, is there any future for Bob Diaco in politics?
Just like I said from the beginning, I appreciate that. Just like I said from the beginning, I believe you can accept it or not. It's okay. I've had both. I believe that I was put on this earth to help young men win. And the vehicle and the avenue of my platform is American football. And I love it. It's my vocari. Thank you so much. If everyone can stay for a couple of minutes, though. Great job, Coach. Okay, if everyone just can be seated. I just want to recognize just one other thing. We have with us here today, this is very important, the American Legion baseball team from Rocky Hill, Cromwell, and Portland. Jay Hickey's group is here. They did an unbelievable thing. Both their junior and their senior teams won the state title. The seniors went to the World Series for the second year in a row. These are athletes from Rocky Hill, Cromwell, and Portland. Great guys, great coaches. We're very, very proud of you. And Jay, unbelievable leadership as general manager and the ex-coach. Stand up, let's recognize these guys. They're unbelievable. And Jay Hickey works for UConn. In closing, I want to thank Coleman Levy from the foundation being with us here today. That has been UConn Foundation, an unbelievable support, has been my teammate through so much over this past couple of years. I really appreciate everything, Coleman. We have reduced tickets for the games. Sun always shines in Middlesex County. Go UConn.